for somebody like myself that uses it a lot. I don't put lids on because it wastes my time. So somebody, people ask that. Well, what?
Where do you get it from?
Lucas, I get most of my stuff from Jerry's Artorama.
Oh.
Yeah, they're pretty good. The delivery's a little quicker than Dick Blick, and I get most of my stuff from Jerry's. Yeah, Jerry's Artorama. Yeah. And then I get this bucket of paint. I use a lot of white, and I'll go through this in probably a month and a half or so. It'll be gone. And also I use another brand if you're interested in quality paint that has a substantial amount of pigment in it and not a lot of filler, is what De La Roni makes. It's really good. It's a Jordan De La Roni. D-A-L-E-R, I think. R-O-W-N-E-Y, De La Roni. And then the other is Lucas, spelled L-U-K-A-S. They've got the Lucas La-Di-Da brand, La-Di-Da one, the Cadillac, but you don't need it. You don't need it. Get this. It'll allow you to not worry about the cost, which, sometimes the husband doesn't like you spending that much money. Or the wife does, or, it's money, because you're not producing anything for a gallery. What are you using up all the money I was paying for? And then this right here is odorless turpentine, and I get that from Orchard. Most of the time I just use one brush. Another thing that opens up doors, it's going to sound a little goofy, but it works, is I use as crummy a brush as I can get, because it has spunk, because it has character. It wants to do what it wants to do, because bristles will stick out and they'll make a mark in your painting that it just might carry something off for you, as opposed to something nice and clean and shaped and nice. So I do most of my painting with this, and because it allows me it allows me to do things. Now, I was gonna, I just put my painting away. I was gonna paint, here's a painting I just did. Let's see. It's in here. I found another one. I was gonna paint this one here for you tonight, but in talking with a couple of people, I think I got a picture in this one. I think it's in this one. Is that Sherman?
Yeah.
Bill, do you often pick up a magazine and go through images and see what you can find, or do you use your phone?
Yeah, I use my phone. If I go to the dentist's office, I'll cough and tear out a paper.
That's awesome.
25 years.
You're the guy.
Missing page.
I'm going right behind you.
I'm the guy. Oh man, I just got a picture picked out here. I crimped the corner. And you think I can find it? Maybe this is it. Yeah, here it is. Okay, I wanted to paint this one so you can see where I was going, and it's based on this photograph. But I can paint this so you can see where I'm going, or I can paint something where you don't know where I'm going.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That way, you don't know where I'm going, and I'm safe.
Right.
Let's go for the ride.
Yeah. If you want to ask something anytime, just ask, because I get interrupted all the time. And my dog does that. So if I'm going to paint, is this turned so you can see, guys? Folks?
Fine, yeah.
I think in terms of, I will paint, honest. I think in terms of color, shape, and value, okay? And that creates a simple visual sentence for me. You pick a shape, you pick a color, and then you pick a darkness of that color, and you just put it on there. So it's color, shape, value. Those three things are constantly going through my head. If it's something's out of whack, is it the color, is it the shape, is it the value? If something's out of whack, it's one of those three things. And those are constantly on my mind. It allows me to keep the process simple, so it's not too complicated. Art teachers are really good at making you get confused. I I believe it. That's my personal experience, because there's a lot of what we call art speak that goes on. And sometimes people don't know what they're talking about, and they'll say words and things and slam them together and create sentences and words that you've never heard before that pertain to art and how to view it and criticize it and how to do it. And it's like, if you've ever read Art Forum magazine, you know what I'm talking about. But it's simple. It can be really simple. It's simple shapes with color and a value.
So this, for you, titanium white,
Correct.
industrial product, where are you going to,
Um,
you're getting a great big can
Yeah,
of oil,
yeah,
of white,
yeah.
from,
Triangle coatings. They've moved to. Yeah, they were. Well, they've moved to someplace.
would that be the primary product you would utilize to do that, or
To
others?
do.
To use the white, are you putting
For the
that
background?
on? Yeah,
No, this is just canvas.
oh,
Sometimes
no.
I paint. Yeah, really. Sometimes I'll paint it out, because sometimes if you see a T-boat painting, you see his white. He's used to white. He's got these beautiful strokes like this that are just gorgeous, and you can see the brush pull through. And sometimes that'll create a breakup of the light in the picture. It creates energy for the painting. And sometimes I've done that in a few of these. Sometimes when I'm painting like this, and there's something that's going off right away, I'll bring on some white and sculpt it back in with some white.
Okay.
So it's letting the horses loose and then bringing them back together again, but not so tight that they can't have fun, but just enough space between them so they can enjoy what they're about.
Okay.
Okay, do you want me to tell you what this is?
No, just paint.
Just paint.
Just
Okay.
paint.
Forget the discussion.
You're on Facebook Live, Bill, and
Oh, yeah,
you
that's
had a former student on the East Coast, Diane Mack.
I won't change her grade. So.
She said, "Hey, watching my former high school art teacher."
Yeah, that's right. So this is a face, okay? So because it's a face and has flesh color in it, that's the last thing I want to see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let it run, and I'm going to keep an eye on things to see what develops. It's very, at this point, it can be very much like watercolor. Right here. And then I like to move around. There's a woman over here. She's taking a photograph of these two people here. So I'm gonna. This is called, I guess, blocking in. You could look at it that way. But I'm not going right away for the local color. If she's a blonde, I'm probably gonna make this really dark. I don't know where it's all gonna go. I don't really care at this point. I just want a composition that's working, and know when to stop when I've got something that's appealing. If there's a dark area, I'll put more than one different dark in there, like that blue. Then I'll put a green in there, and I'll put a magenta in there. Okay, this gives your painting energy. So dark areas, put more than one dark in there. Don't go right for, if she's wearing a blue scarf, don't go for the blue. Just put in green, red, put anything in there but blue. It doesn't have to stay blue. And so I'm just going to, okay, so this woman has, so now I'm picking up some orange, and this is going to take on a little bit of hair-like stuff. And then this guy over here, he's got some kind of a tunic-y thing on. And again, that's kind of a medium color, but I'm going to go into it with red. I got red. Let's use red. Okay, we'll use red. So I'll use some red and see what I got. And sometimes I just go through the colors. I go, okay, I've got a yellow here. Okay, I've got this cadmium yellow, and I'll just put it in. There's two people here. I'll just put it in. And I'll go through the thing. Oh, there's another yellow. This is a cad yellow deep. And I'll put it in, and I get some running action. And she's waving. And this is starting to run. And I'm getting some nice colors in there that I wouldn't get if I planned it. I can't get those. And this is a tunic thing he's kind of wearing, which kind of looks like he's wrapped up in a napkin. But and then I'm going to lighten that up because it's a face. And then then a color I haven't used. Okay, color I haven't used. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more. This is Cad Yellow Light. This is Cad Yellow Deep. This is Buff Titanium, which I use it a lot as a white. Here's Buff Titanium, and it's really good as a white. So she's got a camera in her hand, so I'm drawing some basic shapes, and I'm going to put a little yellow in it, because yellow and that Buff Titanium are close in value, and I'm going to put a little orange in it, because they're close in value too. So I don't go right to the flesh, and sometimes I go, geez, that looks terrible, so I'll put something in there that doesn't really belong, and create that ever fearful word, mud. Well, mud's not a fearful word. It's a neutral, and every painting requires a neutral. And mud is not something to be feared or to be ignored or to be shied away from. It's to be used, and because the mud, the neutral, allows the warms to come forward and the cools to go back, and there's a relationship. There's a shift in here, so that you get some sense of a three-dimensional, like a stage, where you have the different, what do you call it on a stage when you've got those three different levels? The background, yeah, all that good stuff. So I'm just still looking for basic shapes, circles for hands, circles for faces, and then gradually I'll get lighter and lighter, and I start drawing. And I like this green in there. I'm going to put some green in there. So don't fear the mud, guys. It'll slow you down. Oh gosh, I got mud. Oh geez, what am I going to do? Oh gosh, use it. Scrape it off. Maybe put it somewhere else. It's a good neutral color. It'll allow your cools to do their job and your warms to do their job. So do not fear the color or the